Hello, and welcome to the Quantum Suicide. Another choice, basically choices matter game, where you choose your own adventure. I know the premise is basically you're on a ship, and the ship's AI is forcing everyone on board to, well, periodically kill each other. I don't really know much other than that. So, yeah. I think this will be a fun experience. Let's go, really, I guess. I can only speak one language. Voice language in the same. Okay, settings, autoplay, main menu. Well, I couldn't read that. Skip. Okay.
How's our little ray of sunshine doing this morning?
Ignore, I think.
Still unconscious, but their vitals are stable. With any luck, our patient will wake up today.
So it's got its own voice acting, that's good.
Does this mean that I won't get to lovingly sponge bathe them anymore? I've enjoyed it so much.
Beatrix, what you do on your own time is none of my concern.
Okay, so we're in a medical bay, by the looks of it.
Nicholas, look!
Tur.
Water, Beatrix, water. I'll go fetch some while you perform the basic cognitive tests.
What? Where am I? I cleared my throat a few times. An unfamiliar voice emanated from my parched throat in a harsh croak.
It's about time you woke up. Good morning. Let me be the first to welcome you aboard the Everett.
Okay.
My name is Beatrix Vogel. I'm one of the medical officers here.
Okay. I'm sorry, but what's going on? Wait, the Everest? This is the Everett? Last thing I remember, I was on an escape pod and... I paused. I didn't remember much of anything. Only brief snatches of conversations and the odd glimpse of mathematical equations. But none of it made sense.
Whoa, slow down, sailor. The captain will debrief you once we've given you a clean bill of health. But until then, you're not going anywhere.
Ken, you have blonde hair. I reached for Beatrix's golden hair, which poured over her shoulders in a gentle curls.
I know. Glorious, isn't it?
I've never seen blonde hair before. Okay, protagonist. Can I touch it?
I guess I've still got it. Why don't we go ahead and find out how you're doing before you try to ravish me, though? Alright?
Poor phrasing. I nodded at her weakly, head woozy from the movement.
Perfect. So, first question. How many fingers am I holding up?
None. You don't even have your hand up.
Well, someone doesn't have a sense of humor. Perhaps it was damaged by your concussion.
Okay, ouch.
Not good with comebacks either, I see.
Is this the
Moving
cognitive
on.
test?
Okay, next question. Are you a man or a woman?
Oh, I think that's pretty obvious.
It's to test your basic recall. Just play along.
I'm male.
That you are, sailor. And I must say, you are
Thank
quite
you.
the catch. What? As a medical professional, it was my sacred duty to give you a once-over while you were unconscious.
I will
Don't
judge you.
me.
Water,
Thank you.
as requested.
Nicholas, excellent timing. This is my extremely handsome little brother Nicholas.
I don't think it's normal to call your brother extremely handsome. Nicholas nodded modestly. I rose to a sitting position in the bed and accepted the preferred I don't know, glass of water downing it in only a few greedy gulps.
Nice to finally meet you. My sister already beat me to it, but I'm Nicholas Vogel, Beatrix's younger brother. She's only 2 minutes older than me, but she's never let me forget it.
It's all right. Don't be afraid to stare. We're well aware that we won the genetic lottery.
Okay, it's weird. Why are you the two the first people we meet? Nicholas rolled his eyes at his sister in mock exasperation. I tried to contain myself.
Nicholas, this is,
You didn't even ask our patient his name, honestly, Beatrix.
whoops.
Beatrix lifted her shoulder in a dismissive shrug before turning her attention to me.
So, what is your name?
Jordan, apparently. Okay, so I can't type. Got it. Well, let's go with 0, obviously.
Well, it's nice to see you awake at last.
Okay, thanks. With pleasantries out now out the way, Nicholas turned his full attention to me. As he held his fingers firmly against my wrist to take my pulse, he shined a torch into my eyes with his free hand. Its bright beam left black and green dots lingering in my field of vision long after the torch had been extinguished.
How are you feeling?
A bit hazy. I'm still feeling pretty out of it, to be honest. Pretty good. Act like I've really had a good night's sleep. Let's be a bit cautious, I guess.
You've been through quite a lot, so it's not unusual if you're feeling a bit out of it.
How long have I been unconscious?
At least 4 days. You're very fortunate that we happened to recover your escape pod as it drifted through space.
Pupils are reacting normally. There's no apparent loss of fine motor skills, and you seem coherent. Are you experiencing any dizziness
I don't
or
think I am.
nausea?
Not missing a beat, the doctor handed me a bucket, which I promptly vomited into.
It appears that something I've administered doesn't agree with you, or perhaps a symptom of your concussion.
I'm so sorry.
There's no need to apologize. After all, I am a doctor. As far as I'm concerned, the contents of that bucket are nothing more than a common bodily fluid.
That's still kind of gross.
I'm far more interested in what caused this reaction than the result of the reaction itself.
Okay.
Never mind that for now. I'll have you come back in for some more tests later. Hopefully next time we can meet under more pleasant circumstances.
Oh, what's not so pleasant?
Are you currently experiencing any other symptoms?
The lights in here in my eyes, and I can't seem to remember much of anything. I know who I am, and how to speak, and I can talk your ear off about theoretical impossibility of perpetual energy, but everything else is fuzzy.
That'll be the concussion. Give it time.
By the way, Beatrix, I've taken the liberty of informing the captain that our patient is awake. She'll be down here any moment to debrief him.
We haven't even cleared.
She said it was top priority. Given everything that's happened this last week, well,
What's
you can
happened last
understand
week?
Why.
There's no need to defend her, Nicholas. We both know whose fault this really is.
Not now, Beatrix.
Eyebrows furrowed, Nicholas leaned towards me. When he spoke, his deep voice was hushed.
Before the captain arrives, I want to warn you not to...
Nicholas.
I'm sorry.
Captain on deck. A woman with an undeniable air of authority and wearing a tightly wound braid marched into the room, ignoring everyone else. She glared at me with cold, steely eyes. It felt as if my heart was skipped a beat.
So, you're awake at last. Nicholas reports.
A pained expression briefly flickered over Nicholas's features before he composed himself and turned to face the captain.
All vital signs are normal and stable for now. I'd like to run a few more tests to be sure, but all things considered, it appears we've picked up quite the healthy specimen.
How's his memory?
As of right now, not very reliable, but I believe it will return shortly.
You're both dismissed.
Captain, we've been.
Save it, Beatrix. You can brief me later.
Okay. Then.
Out.
Let's go, Beatrix.
Beatrix and Nicholas departed, leaving me alone with the two strangers. I deduced from their brief conversation that the individual with the dark hair and stormy eyes was the captain. But the other figure remained in the dimly lit corner of the room, hands neatly folded together.
My name is Kimiko Yukimori. I am the captain of the Everett. You are currently aboard my ship. Now,
What's going on?
let me make this crystal clear. I will ask the questions and you will answer them.
Oh,
Understood.
no. I nodded, unsure how else to respond to a sudden hostility.
Why are you here?
Because I woke up here.
What do you know about the deletion game?
Never heard of it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I see. That's a shame. I had hoped you would
So answering your
cooperate.
questions is not cooperation. Got it. I'm trying to. Honestly, don't have any clue what's going on here. The last thing I remember, I was inside the shuttle, and then, come to think of it, that's all I can remember.
You're wearing our uniform. We're light years away from any habitable planet in deep space. I don't know how or why you did it, and quite frankly, right now I don't care. But you need to fix whatever you did to our AI this instant.
Sorry, what? I can't help you. There's been some sort of misunderstanding. All I can tell you is that my name is Zero, and I was born on that shuttle, and I've lived there my entire life. I don't even know where there were people still out here.
What did you do to our artificial
I don't know.
intelligence system?
What?
Maybe this will spark your memory.
Yes, Captain.
The heretofore unidentified person emerged from the darkened corner of the room, advanced towards me, and bowed deeply. Her soft features, glittering her hair, and pleasant smile put me at ease, to the point where I was only slightly perturbed. When I realized I could faintly see through her, she was a hologram. Wow. I always knew that our shuttle's interface was a modified version of something far more advanced, but we never had the spare power necessary to use the AI. This is genius. Is she hard light or soft light?
Hello, my name is I. I am the artificial intelligence unit aboard the military spacecraft designated the Everett. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you too.
As to your question, I am a soft light hologram. I am unable to interact with the physical world at this time. The Everett's mechanical engineer, Yoshiki Sasaki, is currently working on developing a hard light application for me.
Amazing. I'll have to get the chance to take a look at your programming sometime.
That's not going to happen anytime soon. As of right now, you are still considered a security risk. Answer me truthfully. Do you wish harm upon
Not to
anyone
my
on
knowledge.
this ship?
What? No.
Very well then.
I am sorry to interrupt, Captain, but I have just received new information about this person.
Explain.
Captain, there is a translocator chip bearing the Everett's ID signature inside this person.
Okay.
Name: born 9th June 2097. Parents: Patrick and Deborah, first generation researchers, studying quantum theory. Departed Earth aboard the Everett, year 2092.
Okay, so you were born 5 years into space.
Departed the Everett on 12th December 2098 in a shuttle. All three presumed deceased.
So I literally lived my life since I was 1 on a shuttle, apparently.
I was unable to retrieve this information earlier because the chip's firmware had not been updated for
Decades.
several decades. It was not until I was in closer proximity that I was able to sense the signal.
What? So you're telling me that our intruder is actually the child of first-generation researchers?
Affirmative.
The captain huffed. She paced around the small room for a few moments, her face a picture of concentration. Before long, she resumed her questioning. Except this time her voice took a cautious turn, a curious tone, devoid of its earlier abrasiveness.
Where are your parents? Did something happen to them?
I don't remember.
That's a shame. From what Ai has told me over the years, your parents were quite the scientists. Brilliant, yet some of their theoretical models were considered...
Insane.
I was going to say impossible.
I don't remember much, but from what little I do remember, I would say that their theories are completely beyond the realm of possibility.
Well, you've got your whole life to figure that out. If we all work together, I'm sure you'll manage it somehow. Provided we can get out of this mess first. Welcome aboard the Everett. As of this moment, you are officially a part of the Everett's crew.
Cool. 15 minutes in and we're already got a job.
Ai, prepare a room for our guest here.
Yes, Captain.
For now, you will not be permitted to leave your quarters. Do you understand?
Why? No, I don't understand. You can't just keep me captive, you know? I still don't understand why treating me like this, but I'll play along for now. Yes, Captain.
Respecting your superior officers already. I might come to like you yet.
It's just safer.
I apologize for my hostility, but this is my crew, my ship. It is my sworn duty to protect them and our mission at all costs. I needed to determine whether you were friend or
Well,
foe.
that remains to be seen. And what have you decided?
I'll let you know once I've made up my
Oh,
mind.
so we're on the same page.
Now, come along. I'll escort you to your quarters. Please follow me.
I groaned as I slid out of the bed and shifted my weight onto my weakened limbs. My knees ached, and I began to feel lightheaded as soon as I stood up. The captain grasped my arm in a steady grip and led me to out of the medical bay and into a cramped metal corridor. After guiding me down a series of hallways that seemed like an eternity in my debilitated state, I was relieved when we finally stopped in front of a hexagonal door. Upon our arrival, the door slid open with an audible weep. I stepped inside and took a look around my new living quarters. Although the room was tidy and functional, I was surprised to find I had mixed feelings about it. While it was certainly more spacious than my personal quarters on the shuttle, it felt oddly impersonal. Its only redeeming feature was the sprawling window that stretched the length of the room, offering an incredible view of deep space.
Here we are. I hope that you find these accommodations acceptable.
I get the feeling I know the answer already, but what if I don't?
Then I suggest you write up a formal complaint. Unfortunately for you, however, we don't plan to set up a complaint desk anytime soon. So keep it under your hat.
She prized me with a smirk.
Please try to find a way to pass your time in here productively. Perhaps work on getting more of your memory
Makes
back.
sense.
There are also some manuals and handbooks covering safety protocols, and basic ship information that you might be interested in, if you wish to learn more about the Everett during your confinement period. I will send someone to bring you food, but whatever you do not leave this room.
Before I could answer, the captain left without so much as a backward glance, leaving me standing awkwardly in an unfamiliar room on an unfamiliar ship filled with unfamiliar faces. Well, at least it's nicer than a prison cell.
The ship's prison cell actually looks very similar, except the walls are painted a different color, there are no windows, and it locks from the outside.
What? Yeah. Okay, so we are on a prison cell. Oh, wait. Where do you come from?
As we previously discussed, I am a hologram. I am intimately connected with the entire ship and can manifest myself at will in any area. Do forgive my sudden intrusion. The captain has given me strict orders to keep you under surveillance.
Oh, of course she did.
Is there anything that you immediately require?
Food, I would imagine. Well, food's gonna come eventually. It's... Can I go now? Could you get me something to eat? Ice cream, perhaps? Okay, memories. Productive.
Unfortunately, I cannot. I am merely the holographic user interface for the onboard AI system. Restoring or modifying human neurological functions currently falls beyond the purview of my programming.
I was only kidding. There's no need to be so hard on yourself.
If you'll excuse me, I have other duties to perform. I will maintain surveillance on you at all times, however, so please do not try to leave the confines of this room. I will return shortly. Please, make yourself comfortable.
We don't
in the
have much of a
meantime.
choice. With a flicker, I vanished from the room I was left alone once more. I ambled around the room for about 10 minutes, inspecting various items, flipping through books, but nothing managed to alleviate the deep sense of unease gnawing at me, away at my insides. Finally, succumbing to boredom, I laid down in the bed and admired the stars framed from my window. You'd think that a lifetime spent observing stars and galaxies as they drift past your window would diminish their beauty, but it doesn't. I'm not sure whether I watched the universe sail by for minutes or hours, but before I knew it, I'd already fallen asleep.
Yahoo!
Aha. Huh? My eyes dragged open, straining against the mild light. A young man stood over me. His grinning face lit up like a kid celebrating his birthday. The unexpected visitor was wearing an outlandish green bow tie and a pink pair of braces. I suddenly realized that he was the first member of the crew I'd seen out of uniform. He sure made a hell of a first impression.
Good morning, sleepyhead.
Don't watch people sleep, it's creepy. Good morning.
It's not even morning. Why would you say that?
What?
I'm just playing with you. Well, that being said, it's dun-dun-na-na, dinner time. I brought you your dinner. Ta-da!
So you're a butler. The man gestured extravagantly at the meal set upon the nearby table. I grimaced as soon as I saw the meager amount of food on the plate.
I thought it would suck to have to eat alone. So I got permission from the good old Cap to let me keep you company while you eat.
Thanks, that's very kind of you. Is this amount of food, is this the amount of food we are rationed?
Kinda.
Kinda?
Well, originally there was more food on your plate, but you were still asleep when I came to bring it to you, so I kinda, sorta ate a whole bunch of it.
You ate our food. I'm starving, why would you do that? Guess, I am technically a prisoner. I guess I should lose a few pounds anyway. Sure, guess I'm technically a prisoner. Can't really complain, can I?
Sure you can. I mean, the captain will ignore everything you say, but you can give it a shot if you want to.
The energetic man made himself comfortable on a nearby sofa as I began to eat. I shoveled the food down with my fork, subconsciously reminding myself to savor it, but failing miserably as I insatiated as my insatiable hunger urged me onward.
Oh, I completely forgot. My name's Yoshiki, by the way. Yoshiki Sasaki. I'm the mechanical engineer and a Gemini. I'm 21 and a half. I love beans, building stuff, and mischief.
What? Okay, nice to meet you. That's quite the introduction. Let's see, my name is Zero, and I guess I like extended periods of silence, creating stuff. I don't remember. I'm sure I like something, but...
Don't worry about it. I can help you find new things to like. We can be best friends.
Why do you want to be best friends with the new guy? I don't think I've ever heard of had a friend before, but I can't. Not that I can remember. As soon as I said the words, I felt a pleasant warm sensation spread from my chest. Friendship, huh? Even though I cleaned every last morsel off my plate, I still felt ravenous. So, are you allowed to tell me anything about what's happening? I know I'm on the Everett, but apart from that, I've got no idea what's going on.
Oh.
Literally just said that. Know what?
I probably shouldn't say. The captain would kill
I mean,
me.
one, if you shouldn't say it, don't say it. 2. Tell me anyway. I'm clearly the main character of the story. I promise I won't tell.
Really?
Really, really. Now spill the beans.
Okay. Just promise me you'll remain calm while I tell you.
I nodded, eager to learn more. Yoshiki cast a hesitant glance in my direction before continuing.
When we picked you up, the AI system went on the fritz and started informing us that we'd exceeded the Everett's crew capacity, in light of the amount of food resources we still had on board. These big red alarms went off and everything, lights for alarms that I didn't even know existed.
So, how do we get more resources?
That kinda isn't the problem.
I threw Yoshiki a questioning look.
When this happened, I recognized that there weren't enough resources for the crew currently aboard the Everett. Instead of suggesting that we acquire more resources, however, the system determined that the best way to correct such an imbalance was to decrease the number of people
And then
on
you
board.
took me on board, so you did the opposite of that. For a moment, I sat there stunned in silence. Yoshiki bit his lip, his eyes consciously avoiding my gaze. Does that mean...
Yeah. The AI sentenced one of our crew members to death. Dr. Andreas Gunther Vogel. He was a good man.
Oh, a Vogel. So the medical twins' father, I'm assuming? He deserved a much better than the brutal death he got. And he got what? A bitter smile tugged at the corner of Yoshiki's mouth.
He used to give me lollipops when I visited him for a checkup as a kid. Even when we ran out, he still mimed giving me one every time. And I would pretend to eat it. He told me that if I concentrated really hard, I'd still be able to taste it, that my mouth would remember the flavor. Well, I know it was silly, but...
Yoshiki's words were faint in my ear. I felt an intense wave of nausea hit me as I realized the truth. It's my fault. Sweet science, it's my fault. I'm responsible. If I'd never come on board, that man would have to die.
No! Well, yes, but no. You can't think about it like that. There's something wrong with AI's programming that's causing her to behave like this. See, Dr. Vogel is dead, but after it killed him, the AI system didn't reset to acknowledge that we were at safe levels again.
What are you trying to say, Yoshiki?
In 4 days, someone else will die. Not the best news to wake up to, huh? So you might actually be responsible for more than one death. Don't beat yourself up about it, though.
Okay, cool.
No one could
Yeah,
have
it doesn't
predicted
sound
this.
like it's our fault. How does it work, though? How does the AI determine who dies?
Well, I've probably said too much already. If the captain wanted you to know, she would have told you herself.
But I need to know.
I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, look at the time. I need to go wash my hair.
Zipping out of his seat, Yoshiki scooped up my plate and dashed out of the door.
Toodles!
My mind and body were numb. I couldn't believe what Yoshiki had just told me. It seems too cruel to be a joke, yet too horrifying to be true. One dead, in 4 days another will die, and I was to blame. The next day... I stared listlessly at the ceiling. I hadn't slept a single wink during the night. How could I possibly sleep when my thoughts were in such disarray? A sharp knock at the door brought me back to my senses. Before I could even sit up, the captain had already entered my quarters. She was the very antithesis of my bedraggled appearance. Not a single hair in her braid was out of place. I, on the other hand, probably looked like exactly how I felt. Awful.
Good morning.
Not a
I
wink.
trust you slept well.
I didn't sleep at all, actually. Tell it to me straight, Captain. Am I responsible for Dr. Amadeus Gunther Vogel's death? The burning question had churned through my mind all night, tumbled out of my mouth ungraciously.
What? Heavens, no.
Yoshiki told me that my arrival triggered something, and that someone would die again in 4 days' time.
That kid just can't keep his mouth shut, can he? What Yoshiki said is nothing you need to concern yourself with. In any case, you're currently not permitted to leave your quarters.
I opened my mouth to protest, but was cut short by a strange image of I phasing through the closed door into my room. The prim and proper eye that I knew was gone, replaced with an uncanny look alike whose toothy smile, red eyes, and naturally tilted head lent a deeply unsettling appearance. This sinister new apparition utterly lacked her doppelganger's poison-friendly demeanor.
Oh, no, no, no. That won't do
DAI,
at all.
die. Okay. I think this is a good time to call it there. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, I can see you on the next one. And with that, goodbye.